The dim glow of the simulation chamber illuminated the metallic room, casting long shadows on the walls. Commander Lucian Hargrove stood silently, observing the newest recruits, no longer just soldiers, but something far more powerful. The Mind Fusion Project had been humanity's answer to the escalating threats in the galaxy. By merging artificial intelligence with the human mind, these super-soldiers could process information and make decisions at the speed of thought, outpacing even the most advanced alien strategies. He watched as Ethan Vance, the first fully operational Mind Fusion soldier, executed a flawless maneuver against his AI adversaries. His movements were fluid, inhumanly precise. Yet, there was something behind his eyes, a flicker of hesitation that Lucian couldn't quite place. Dr. Layla Marin, the lead scientist behind the project, approached Lucian. "They're perfect," she said, her voice tinged with both pride and caution. "They process data faster than any organic being in the galaxy. Ethan alone has outperformed every simulation we've run." Lucian nodded, though his gaze remained fixed on Ethan. "And yet, they're still human." Layla hesitated. "For now." As the simulations ended, Ethan and the other Mind Fusion soldiers deactivated their helmets, the neural links retracting into their suits. Their expressions were unreadable, but Lucian could see the weight of something deeper settling on Ethan's face. "Commander," Ethan greeted as he stepped down from the platform. Lucian studied him for a moment before speaking. "How does it feel?" Ethan's jaw tightened. "Like I'm becoming something else. Faster. Smarter. But—" he trailed off, glancing at his fellow soldiers. Lucian understood. He had seen this look before, soldiers wrestling with the changes war demanded of them. But this was different. "But you're still you, Ethan. Don't lose sight of that." Ethan nodded, but the doubt lingered in his eyes. The Resolute, humanity's flagship, drifted silently above a barren moon, the last defensive line between Earth and the alien Dominion. The Dominion had been systematically dismantling humanity's colonies, believing they had the upper hand with superior technology and numbers. But they hadn't accounted for the Mind Fusion soldiers. Lucian stood on the bridge, watching as the Dominion fleet gathered in the distance. Their sleek, black ships looked menacing against the stars. But he wasn't afraid. Not with the Fusion soldiers at his side. "Commander," Layla's voice came over the comms, "we've received new intel. The Dominion is planning a full-scale assault. We estimate their ships will breach our outer defenses in under an hour." Lucian clenched his fist. "Then we hit them first." The battle plan was simple. Exploit the Fusion soldiers' capabilities to break through enemy lines. Ethan and his team would lead a strike to disable the Dominion's command ship, cutting the head off the Serpent. As the Resolute moved into position, Ethan and the strike team prepared for launch. The tension was palpable, but Ethan remained calm, his neural link already calculating thousands of combat scenarios. "Remember, this is what you were made for," Lucian said over the comms. Ethan's voice came back steady. "I won't fail." The insertion went flawlessly. Ethan's team sliced through Dominion defenses, moving with a kind of precision no organic force could match. Every move, every shot was calculated within milliseconds, and the Dominion couldn't keep up. Their strategic dominance was crumbling in the face of humanity's new soldiers. But as Ethan moved deeper into the enemy ship, something began to change. The constant flow of data, the cold logic of the AI, started to drown out his own thoughts. The further he pushed, the more he questioned. Was this still him? They reached the Dominion command center, and Ethan prepared to take out the alien general. But as he aimed his weapon, he hesitated. The alien looked up at him, fear in its eyes. Ethan's neural link urged him to pull the trigger, to complete the mission. But something deeper within him resisted. "Ethan, what's happening?" Lucian's voice crackled through the comms. Ethan's mind raced. The AI saw the alien as nothing more than a target, an obstacle. But Ethan saw something more, a living being, no different from the humans he was fighting to protect. His voice faltered. For the first time since the fusion, he felt conflicted. "Ethan, pull the trigger. Complete the mission." But Ethan lowered his weapon. "No, I can't. Not like this." Back aboard the Resolute, Ethan stood in silence as Lucian confronted him. "You had the chance to end this war, and you hesitated. Why?" Ethan met his gaze, his voice calm but resolute. "Because I'm not a machine, Commander. The fusion gives us power, but it's also taking away what makes us human. I won't let that happen." Lucian was silent for a long moment. He had always known this was a risk, that merging human minds with AI might blur the line between man and machine. But hearing Ethan say it out loud forced him to confront the truth. Layla entered the room, her expression conflicted. "He's right, Commander. The fusion process was never meant to strip away their humanity. We designed it to enhance them, not replace them." Lucian sighed, running a hand through his hair. "And now," Ethan stepped forward, "we fight, but not as machines, as humans." The final battle loomed over the dark horizon, as Dominion warships filled the sky, casting shadows across Earth's last line of defenses. The air crackled with energy from plasma blasts and the deafening roar of ship engines. On the ground, the fusion soldiers stood ready, their sleek armor glinting in the pale light of Earth's last defense stations. This time, the soldiers weren't just machines of war. They were something more, something that even the Dominion couldn't predict. Ethan and his team moved with a seamless blend of AI precision and human adaptability, darting between cover and advancing with flawless coordination. Each step, each shot, was a balance of cold logic and fiery intuition. As they engaged the enemy, Ethan saw Dominion infantry rushing forward in waves, their formation rigid, relying on brute force and strategic predictability. "They're coming in full force. Hold the line." Ethan's voice was calm but firm, cutting through the chaos of battle. His HUD, heads-up display, flickered as the AI in his mind calculated probabilities, but it was his own human instincts that made the final call. He noticed something in the way the Dominion troops moved, repetitive patterns, predictable flanks. His team could easily have outmaneuvered them by sheer speed and precision, but Ethan knew that wouldn't win the war. Instead, he devised a bold, unexpected strategy. "Fall back to the ridge," he ordered. His team hesitated for a split second, confused, but trusted him enough to follow. The Dominion forces, seeing what appeared to be a retreat, charged harder, their commanders thinking victory was at hand. But as they advanced, they entered a trap. Ethan's team had repositioned on higher ground, giving them the perfect vantage point. Ethan grinned as the enemy funneled into the kill zone. "Now!" he shouted, and a volley of precise, overwhelming fire rained down on the Dominion forces. Plasma bolts sliced through the air, cutting through their armor, tearing through their ranks. The enemy, caught in their own overconfidence, was thrown into disarray. Amid the chaos, Ethan could feel the tension within him, a battle between the cold efficiency of the AI and the unpredictability of his human spirit. He could have simply followed the AI's calculated attack patterns, but it was his gut instinct that had led his team to victory. The Dominion's commanders hadn't counted on this. They had expected cold, calculated moves, not the fiery unpredictability of human intuition. Ethan's soldiers fought not just with logic, but with empathy and adaptability, outthinking their opponents at every turn. As the last Dominion ship fell from the sky, a brilliant explosion lighting up the battlefield, Ethan stood with his team, breathing heavily but triumphant. Earth was safe for now, not because they had superior firepower, but because they had outwitted an enemy that could never understand the true strength of humanity, their ability to adapt, to feel, and to fight for something greater than themselves. I hope you had a good time. If you liked my story, do not forget to comment and subscribe to my channel. Goodbye. See you in the next story.